Tim Duncan has the Spurs ready for another title run, while Larry Brown's Pistons are finding a new spark. Plus, we'll tell you which players delivered knockout performances in March. Take an inside look at the story of Detroit's success. And, as always, bring you the top 10 plays of the week.
Then a spinning drive by Sam, drops to the caddy, who slams it home.
Get out! He is unstoppable! You cannot believe what we just saw! Oh, man, what a dunk!
Tear up that rim, young fella.
Sensational! Ooh, I'm shaking in my chair! Oh, at home!
We tip things off by taking you into the action in the West with the NBA's hottest team, the defending champion Spurs. Last season, the Admiral David Robinson sailed into the sunset with an NBA title. And now, as the playoffs approach, the Spurs are looking to recapture that championship feeling.
Congratulations, San Antonio, for your 2003 NBA champion, San Antonio Spurs.
I think we are a great team. Everybody respects us. And we are playing well again. So as long as you keep doing it, you keep playing hard and like a team, I think anybody can win the ring.
Recently, the Spurs would be tested by one of the top teams in the East, the Pistons, and they got off to a fast start.
Parker wins his way in, hard-earned basket.
After San Antonio scored the game's first 8 points, the Pistons quickly bounced back, and by halftime, Detroit was leading by 4.
Hamilton getting it into Rasheed Wallace, feeding Hamilton. Pretty play by the Pistons.
But the Spurs regained the lead in the third quarter as Bruce Bowen heated up from outside.
And Bowen with a 2-point basket.
Meanwhile, Tim Duncan was getting it done from down low.
Tim Duncan with a spin move. He's got it.
And then the Spurs would open the fourth quarter with a 20-6 run.
Manu Ginobili going in and lays it in.
It seemed that Manu Ginobili was all over the court as he scored 14 of his 17 points in the second half. And he would help San Antonio put this contest away.
Ginobili for 3. Manu Ginobili. What an impact he has made here in the fourth quarter.
Larry Brown's Pistons went home in defeat as the defending champions clinched a playoff berth.
The San Antonio Spurs have won 84-75 and go to 47-25.
Duncan and the Spurs would have another chance to make a statement when they took on the leaders in the Western Conference, the Kings. But in this one, it was Sacramento that came out hot.
Here is Peja Stojakovic hitting a 3.
The Kings pulled off 5 steals in the game's first 6 minutes, and Mike Bibby would give them a 14-7 lead.
And Bibby gets the basket and the foul.
But from that point on, it would be all San Antonio. They took a 12-point lead in at halftime behind the inside play of Tim Duncan and the electrifying moves of Manu Ginobili.
Ginobili! Manu Ginobili picking up where he left off.
Manu finished the game with 29 points, and the Spurs shot a season-best 58%, as it seemed like everything was falling for San Antonio.
Basket will count by Tony Parker, who says, what about me? I'll do something at the end of this game.
The Spurs capped off a 4-0 homestand with a 107-89 victory. Another huge test was waiting in Los Angeles against the league's hottest team, the Lakers, who were looking to extend their 11-game winning streak.
Shaq hands it off, Foxy on the baseline, back to Shaquille into the middle. Shaq got it back, glasses, banks it from 12, left side of the paint.
But Tony Parker scorched LA with 29 points, and the Spurs led by 11 at halftime. In the second half, Kobe Bryant tried to bring the Lakers back.
Kobe down to the baseline, takes it, and he'll jam it with one hand.
But then Bruce Bowen caught fire, igniting a 19-6 run for San Antonio.
Ori down the right side, kicks into the corner. Bowen again, wide open for 3, gets it.
The Spurs extended their lead to 14 as LA went scoreless for 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. But Kobe would lead them on one last charge.
Kobe slashes into the middle, finger rolls it home, and he's fouled by Tim Duncan.
Duncan's basket late in the game kept the Spurs up by 4, but Shaq and the Lakers still weren't through.
Fish down in the corner, whips it, lob, Shaq slams with one hand.
But the Spurs would turn to Tony Parker to put the game away.
Parker wide open, 3-pointer, good, unreal.
The Spurs went on to their 6th consecutive win while cooling off the Lakers.
The Spurs win by 6 over the Lakers, stopping the Lakers' 11-game winning streak.
Now let's check out the NBA.com Western Conference playoff picture. The Sacramento Kings are currently the number 1 seed. The Minnesota Timberwolves, leaders in the Midwest Division, are number 2. The Lakers are in 3rd place, while the San Antonio Spurs are right behind them in 4th. The Memphis Grizzlies are in 5th, while the Dallas Mavericks are in 6th. The Rockets are in 7th. It's a tight race for the 8th and final playoff spot, with the Jazz hanging on by a half game over the Nuggets, while the Trailblazers are in 10th place. You're watching NBA action on Fox Sports Net. Now we take you back into the action, this time in the East, with a team driving hard for the playoffs, the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons opened a homestand against the Knicks, and they got off to a flying start.
Side to Chauncey, alley-oop to Tayshaun, and the Pistons are 10 up on New York. Can be overcome. Pistons go to Memo, put it on the floor, attack the rack, and jammed over Baker.
Detroit controlled this one from the outset, leading by 19 points at halftime, and Ben Wallace was at his best.
Turns on Eldon Campbell, nice cut inside by Anderson, shot rejected by Ben, saved by Lindsay, ahead to Rip, behind him to Ben for the jam!
And Detroit ran away with a 185 victory over New York. Next, Ben and the Pistons hosted the LA Clippers and had a battle on their hands as the teams were tied at 52 at halftime.
Here's a no-looker, tapped in by Ben from Memo.
Was a little bit luck there.
Elton Brand will hang on to it, take it all the way to the rack, lay it up and lay it in.
Elton Brand led LA with 27 points, but Richard Hamilton helped Detroit take command.
And the Pistons are going to get a run out for Rip and a throw down. Heyman lost it to Memo. Blocked him on a shot, but there was Rip for the follow.
The Clippers pulled to within 5 in the 4th quarter before Hamilton and Chauncey Billups led Detroit on a 12-2 run.
Chauncey by himself got it from Rip and laid it in.
And the Pistons went on to the victory behind 28 points and 5 steals from Rip Hamilton. 2 nights later, the Pistons played host to Miami in a possible playoff preview. And Eddie Jones had Detroit feeling the heat in the 1st quarter.
Wade on the run. Behind the back dish, sideline right to Eddie Jones. Another 3, and it's through. Eddie Jones with 3 triples. Bounce to Rasheed, low left against Lamar Odom. Backs and bumps, powers it up and in. Rasheed Wallace catching fire.
Behind their combination of Wallaces, Rasheed, and Ben, the Pistons took the lead in the 4th quarter. But the biggest star on this night was Chauncey Billups with 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Chauncey steps back, fires for 3. It's through! He nearly fell out of bounds!
And Detroit would treat its fans to a 92-84 victory, their 11th win in the past 13 games. Next up for the Pistons would be one of their biggest games of the season. They would face the top team in the NBA and their rivals in the Central Division, the Indiana Pacers. After losing their first 3 games to Indiana this season, the Pistons had something to prove. They wanted to show that they could challenge the Pacers for the Eastern Conference title, and they were ready. But first, they had to contain Jermaine O'Neal.
Topside dish to Anderson, foul line bounce to O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal guns it down. He's 2 for 3.
O'Neal was delivering on the defensive end as well, and the Pacers led by 3 after the 1st quarter. But things quickly began to turn.
Chauncey with a bounce to Rasheed, baseline left, turning, gunning, got it.
And while O'Neal went cold from the field, the Pistons continued to heat up.
Rip, right of the lane, steps into it, fires, fills it.
Reggie Miller would try to keep his Pacers in it.
Foster, cross-court, Reggie Miller, up with a rainbow 3, and it is through.
But it was the Pistons who were setting the pace on this night. And by the 4th quarter, Detroit had burst out to a 17-point lead.
Steps to the left elbow, fires, fills it up. Ben and Memo all over that shot.
And Rip Hamilton would leave his mark on the game as he stepped up to lead the Pistons with 24 points while breaking down the Pacers' defense.
Wide left to Rip. Rip down the lane, gets to the basket, scoops, scores!
Hamilton and the Pistons were on their way to a convincing victory.
Turning, gunning, got it! Rip Hamilton!
They defeated the Pacers 79-61, their 50th win of the season. Taking a look at the NBA.com Eastern Conference playoff picture, the top-seeded Indiana Pacers have clinched home court advantage throughout the conference playoffs. The New Jersey Nets, who've wrapped up the Atlantic Division, will be the 2nd seed, while the Detroit Pistons will be number 3. The Milwaukee Bucks are currently in the 4th spot, while the Miami Heat and New Orleans Hornets are tied for 5th. The Knicks are in 7th place. The Boston Celtics are holding on to the 8th and final playoff spot by 2.5 games over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The 76ers are in 10th place, 3 games behind the Celtics. We're back with more NBA action. Okay, time now to log on to NBA.com for a look at the league's latest award winners. We begin with the Players of the Month for March, Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom. Kobe took home the honors in the Western Conference after leading his Lakers to a 13-3 record last month. Bryant averaged 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And against Orlando, he scored 24 in the 4th quarter alone.
Kobe biding his time, turns on the chest, comes down. He's got the hottest man in the country right now.
Lamar Odom was the winner in the Eastern Conference. Miami's versatile forward averaged 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists in March, while leading the Heat into playoff contention.
Here's Odom going to work inside, little bump, count the basket.
Meanwhile, Lamar's coach, Stan Van Gundy, was named the Eastern Conference Coach of the Month for March after guiding the Heat to a 12-3 record, including a 9-game home winning streak. Miami knocked off some of the league's top teams, including the Sacramento Kings.
A pretty play completed for Rafer Alston.
His Heat have now clinched their first playoff berth in 3 years and still have a chance at home court advantage in the first round.
In this race, you've just got to keep on keeping on because you never know what's going to happen.
In Memphis, Hubie Brown has guided the Grizzlies to the first playoff berth in franchise history. And he's been named Western Conference Coach of the Month for the 2nd straight time after leading his team to a 13-2 record during March. Since taking over last season, Brown has put his stamp on the Grizzlies.
He's brought organization on the defensive end. He's given us a philosophy, he's given us a style. Hubie has made all the difference in the world for us.
For the 5th straight time, Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James were named their conference's Got Milk Rookies of the Month. They're tied for the lead in rookie scoring at 21 points a game, and both achieved career highs in March. James became the youngest player to score 40 points in an NBA game.
Take off! Touchdown from LeBron James! What a dazzling, almost superhuman effort from LeBron James with a career-high 41.
Not to be outdone, Carmelo would score 41 of his own 3 days later, leading his Denver Nuggets to a crucial win over Seattle.
Here's Anthony, quality shot, dropped in, career-high 41.
Anthony and James are both making their case to be named the league's top rookie.
They're 2 guys that are going to be around this league a long time, and they're both very deserving of the Rookie of the Year.
It's time to go to work.
If the playoffs started today, is there a team out there that's better than the Pistons right now, the way the Pistons are playing?
I don't think so.
No. East or West, right?
East or West, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Detroit, let's roll.
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
We just got a bunch of grounded guys that respect one another, that get along with one another, and you know, for some reason we just click with each other.
Me and Ben Wallace, we're on the bottom rack, man. But everybody else, they're on the top rack up here, man. They over here 15s, 10s. Hey, Liz, you the bottom left rack?
Yeah, I'm the big boys.
Okay.
Me and Ben,
we're gonna add Liz to that group then.
I'm not gonna do you like that.
Get down on my bottom rack, body.
It seems like pieces to a puzzle. We just growing, we just getting comfortable more and more every day.
The one aspect of our team nobody really knows about that, man, these guys really pull for each other. We all do. And when you get a team that does that, it makes it special.
We try to stay connected. We all love each other. We all not playing for stats. We just going out there to try to win games. When you got that, man, you can accomplish a lot of special things.
In our minds, we all want that same goal, and that's to get a title. And the only way to get that is to help each other out, and I think that's something that we've learned here.
There's no egos. Success is to make your teammates better. And I think deep down they all want to do that. What's on the front of their jersey is more important than what's on the back. I wish we wouldn't have nameplates on the back.
Back with you on our Rock Financial Pistons pregame show. An amazing run for the Detroiters as the Pistons facing a Sixer team this afternoon and an opportunity to win 5 in a row.
We go out and get this win. We had a couple of days to prepare for New Jersey, get off our feet, relax the legs, and just keep building up momentum for the playoffs.
We got guys that'll go to war for each other on this team. I mean, we're solid, man, and we're versatile and we're deep. We really believe in our hearts that we can win a championship.
Advantage here at the Palace. 10 straight sellouts will be 11 in a row this afternoon. And for Detroit, they push towards the playoffs.
Let your head out. You're going to act a fool this afternoon.
The camaraderie felt by the Pistons is more than just talk. When a team feels like a family, that togetherness shows on the court. They're a group of athletes with a lot to prove individually and so much more to gain as a team.
Every night it's like a chip on my shoulder. I always feel like I gotta prove it. And when I say that, I speak for us, because we all came from the same struggles in this league.
Rasheed for the slam.
You can make it to the finals, but you always sit back and talk about what if. Instead of saying what if, why not celebrate a championship?
On certain teams, you have individual egos and things like that. We put all that to the side and say, okay, we want to get to where we want to get to.
Hamilton brings it the other way. Hamilton up and under.
You want to be playing well in March, and the Pistons are.
I know at the end of the day, we're going to be right there amongst the best in the league, whether they respect it or not.
Big Ben tolls again in the Palace.
I'd like everybody to think we were the best team, because they'd probably be right. But the only thing I'm concerned about is that we're getting better.
I think we go all the way to the dance and go ahead and be that prom king.
The book hasn't even been written on this particular group yet, but I think the paper and the pen are already out. And to be a part of that, that's a ride I will never forget.
Stop!
I have respect for all these guys here. I have to be patient, waiting for my chance and learn every day something new.
Now Delavere trying to return the favor, and Milicic blocks his shot. The Pistons are all standing. They know what's at stake here. That should do it. They've held 5 straight opponents under 70. This is like a playoff game finish. How about that? They do it again.
You my boys, Blue!
There it is.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Take tomorrow off?
Yeah.
All right, and then if anybody needs treatment, come in.
Way to go, fellas.
Then we'll go. Great job, guys.
Let's go, man.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to NBA action. All right, time now for the top 10 plays of the week in our NBA TV countdown. Starting us off at number 10, the Raptors' Jalen Rose runs into trouble, but he gets a big lift from Michael Curry.
Michael Curry gets it! He just posterized Joe Smith! Oh my goodness!
In at number 9, it's the waiter, Tony Kukoc, serving up his latest dish.
You got to reach!
The waiter. That was sweet.
Checking in at number 8, here's another pretty pass as Steve Nash delivers in style to Dirk Nowitzki.
You gotta love it!
Hit at number 7 this week, off the steal, hits the Spurs' Manu Ginobili, weaving his way through the Kings.
Ginobili! Manu Ginobili picking up where he left off! Come on! Yeah, no. What a
number 6, the Lakers start the fast break, and Shaquille O'Neal's right there to finish it.
And then O'Neal. Whoa.
At 5, it's the Nets' Richard Jefferson with a greeting for his neighbors, the Knicks.
Oh, up high for the slammer. Climb the ladder and throw it down. Richard Jefferson.
Coming in at number 4, it's the Toronto Raptors' Vince Carter with his latest act of Vinsanity.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
I wasn't counting on him making that.
I know, and I was listening to you, and he throws one from his knees.
In at number 3, here comes the Lakers' Kobe Bryant with this sensational slam.
Kobe slashing into the lane, spins the body 180.
At number 2, off the miss, it's Devin Brown sending it home for the Spurs.
Brown putting it through. Devin Brown, what a game.
And with a number 1 play of the week, check out this incredible shot from Minnesota's Kevin Garnett.
Kevin blindly throws it up and in. Kevin Garnett, the Midas touch tonight. Off the top of the backboard.
That's our show for this week. Last week, fans on NBA.com said that this spectacular slam by Richard Jefferson was the number 1 play of the week, and it's certainly worth another look. Remember, you can vote for your favorite play all season long by logging on to the league's official website